If you have a senior cat and you are wondering if you will know when they're near the end of their life, this video is for you. So many times it's hard to know when cats are nearing the end of their lives. And it's because they can't talk to us and they don't show us the same obvious things that we see in people or dogs. They tend to just kind of disappear a little bit. So this video is all about recognizing the signs that your cat could be near the end of their life, or they're just signs that your cat is really sick and needs to see a veterinarian. Buckle your seatbelt because we're going to go through these 10 signs. And if you do have a senior cat and some of these kind of hit a trigger for you, make sure to have a box of tissues ready. And then after I go through the 10 signs, I'll give you some options as far as what to do now if you're seeing these signs. Okay, the number one sign is weight loss. This can be very subtle in cats and hard to catch, especially if you have a cat that you don't pet very often and maybe they're outdoors and just doing their own thing. And the reason being is they have that lovely fluffy hair coat. And so if you're looking at an emaciated cat and they have a full hair coat, they could still look totally normal. It's not until you go to pet them and then suddenly you feel all these bones of their skeleton. And that's usually very shocking to people. So if you are noticing extreme weight loss in your cat, that's an indication that something's going wrong. May not be near the end of their life. It may be something totally treatable, but it is a sign that something serious is going on and you need to go see a vet. The number two thing that could indicate an old cat is nearing the end of their life is hiding more and very reclusive behavior. If you've had cats at any point of your life that are old, then you may know this, but when they do get to the end of their life, some of these cats they disappear. They go hide somewhere and they actually die. And a lot of people will come and talk to me and say, my cat just disappeared one day and I don't know where to find them. Or they'll say, my cat disappeared and then I found them and they were deceased. And that's because cats, when they are getting near the end of their life, will do that. So if you're not noticing that your cat is hiding or more reclusive and they're old, could be a sign that they're near the end of their life, but it could also just be a sign that something's wrong. So again, take them to the vet. Number three sign that an old cat could be nearing the end of their life is just not eating. This goes along sometimes with the weight loss. There's a variety of things that cause these cats to stop to eat. Anything from chronic pain to chronic nausea to dementia, to cancer. There's a lot of different things that can go wrong with an older cat body. And one of the big overarching signs is that food bowl that used to be empty every single day is now full, or you're not filling it as much as you used to. So not eating could be another sign. Number four sign, they're sleeping more. So cats naturally will tend to sleep a decent amount during the day. They like to sleep a lot anyways, but they generally are most active in the morning and in the evening. And then some cats are active all day long. And so if you're noticing that your previously active cat is not as active, or you just notice that they're sleeping all the time and they're older, could be something that could indicate that they are nearing the end of their life. Could just be that they don't feel good. A lot of people don't know that cats can actually get arthritis, just like dogs, just like humans, but it goes unrecognized most of the time because we're just not paying attention to cats the way we do ourselves or dogs. So could be a sign nearing the end of their life, could just be a sign that they are in chronic pain. Either way, go see a vet. Number five, a matted appearance to their hair coat and just noticing that they're not grooming as much as they used to. So when a cat doesn't feel well, any age cat, they just will stop grooming because they need to feel good in order to make themselves look their best. And grooming is just not high on their priority list when they're feeling nauseous or they're feeling painful or they're feeling low energy or they're just chronically sick or they're nearing the end of their life. So if you're noticing that your once fastidious feline now is developing mats and maybe has an unkempt appearance to their hair coat, or it's greasy and it doesn't look good, that's a sign that there's something going wrong with the cat. And if the cat is very old, could be a sign that they are nearing the end of their life. Number 6 sign that your cat could be nearing the end of their life is if they are sick with something and they are receiving treatment for it, that the treatment is no longer effective. So, for example, maybe a cat with kidney disease and is receiving treatment such as subcutaneous fluids or medications or special diet or any of the things we do. And despite all these therapies, the cat is still declining. Those are signs that the cat's body is not receiving the treatment, and they may be getting near to the end of their life because there's not any more medical intervention that we can do. A number 7 sign is an abnormal odor to the cat. So cats typically have a good odor. A healthy cat just smells good. They just smell like a cat. But a sick cat or a cat that's very old and in the process of dying will have a different odor. It's kind of like it's like a sweet, fetid odor. And there's not a good way to describe it. It just smells like death. And when I was in practice and I would see some of these patients come in and I would smell that, I would know that no matter what I did, that cat was on their way to heaven. So that's a good sign. If you're noticing that your cat's suddenly smelling super funky, they could be sick, or if they're very old, that could be just indication of internal organs that are shutting down, and that cat is nearing the end of their life. Number 8 sign is abnormal breathing. So normally cats will breathe in a regular rhythm that's very regular all through the day. Cats that are very old and debilitated near the end of their life, they will have irregular breathing. Sometimes it's really fast. Sometimes it's just really, really slow. Sometimes it looks like they're having difficulty breathing, and things just aren't working quite as well as they used to. Could also be a sign of respiratory disease or something that can be treated. So again, I think you're sensing a pattern with all of these. If you see any of these, go talk to your veterinarian. Number 9, in a very old cat that is nearing the end of their life, sometimes you will see that they start to have litter box problems. So maybe they start urinating outside of the litter box or defecating, or maybe they're just wetting themselves when they're sleeping. So urination and defecation abnormalities is definitely something we see in our very old and debilitated geriatric patients, and could be a sign that they are nearing the end of their life. And then number 10, they just don't have interest in the things they used to do, the things they used to enjoy. So if your cat used to love to climb, if your cat used to love to pretend to hunt things, if your cat used to love to sit with you and cuddle, just think about the different things your cat loves to do. And then if you have a very old cat and you're noticing they're not doing that anymore, that's a sign that something is wrong. Your cat is always communicating to you. We just have to watch. And so, again, it could be a sign of chronic pain, which can be treated easily in cats, or it could be a sign that their body is just ending and they are just wanting to be done. Again, with all of these signs, I've given you 10 of them. All of these signs are a reason for you to schedule an appointment with a veterinarian so the veterinarian can best advise you on what to do. If it is a younger cat or is a cat that has mostly a good quality of life, a lot of these things can be treated. But if it is a very, very old cat and we're running out of options, then sometimes you have to consider humane euthanasia. So if you are noticing these things in your very, very old cat, what do? Especially if you're not ready to say goodbye, which is totally fine and totally normal. Usually what I would tell people is I'd say, print out a calendar, just a easy calendar. And for every day that you think is a good day for your cat, I want you to put a smiley face. And for every day that you think is a not good day for your cat, and you have to decide what is a good day and what is not a good day. And we can talk about parameters like eating and drinking and playing and sleeping and doing the things they want to. You have to decide those parameters. Every day that's a bad day, that they don't do those things, or maybe they're acting in pain, or maybe they vomited or something's going on, you put a sad face on those days. And then you get to the end of the month and you look and you see, what do we have here? Do we have a majority of good days or a majority of bad days? If we have a majority of good days, great. Maybe talk to your veterinarian about getting some more intervention to kind of manage your cat's quality of life. so that they can still, live and have a good time of it, but maybe not consider euthanasia yet. If you're noticing a majority of bad days, it's time to start talking to your veterinarian either about increased interventions, palliative care, hospice and palliative care, which is a specialty in veterinary medicine, pain control, and just when is it time to say goodbye. And no veterinarian can or should make that decision for you. Sometimes it's really hard to make that decision when your heart's involved and your emotions are involved. And so they can tell you from a clinical perspective that this cat is suffering or not suffering, or these are the things we can do, or the things that we, shouldn't do. But at the end of the day, you have to think, am I keeping this cat around for myself, or am I keeping this cat around for them? And then sometimes you have to make the really, really hard decision of euthanizing. And sometimes, even though it's so hard for us, it can be the most humane, peaceful thing you can do for them, is give them an honorable end, a peaceful, easy, pain-free, honorable end. And some people say, well, I don't want to do that. I just want them to die naturally at home. And I can tell you that dying naturally at home, while it might feel better to you, it is not humane in most cases. These animals, if you've seen in nature how animals die in nature, most of them are either eaten or they starve to death, or they die some sort of painful death. That's how it is in nature. If you have a cat that is dying at home, they could be struggling to breathe, which is terrifying, or they could be sitting in extreme pain or just constant nausea from something. And we don't want that for our cats on any way, shape, or form. So sometimes you have to make this really hard decision for them. It's hard for you. It's going to be better for them. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you some guidance, especially if this is something that is front and center in your world. If you have a senior cat that you love so much, just remember that they've given their lives to you, and it's your job to make sure that they have a peaceful, pain-free ending to their life at the appropriate time. Thank you for watching this kind of hard video. I do a lot of this content for cats.com, so if you like it, hit subscribe. And then if you've been through this experience, please share in the comment section your experience, because you never know how that's going to help somebody else. Thank you so much for watching.